Hey everyone. So you defined the KPIs. Now you don't know which features actually are mapped to which KPI. And thus, how do you call what is a success or not after you have delivered a particular feature? Hello everyone. I am Debanjan Mazumdar and this is Prodcraft. If you are a new product manager or aspiring to be one, and like me, you are lost in the world of KPIs and defining success and how to understand what is what, worry not. You can see this video and the previous video actually in the reverse order, and you would be ready to define success for your product, for your teams, to your leadership, to anyone and everyone involved. So, in the previous video, I talked about the list of 6 KPIs which are the most commonly used ones by product managers. There are definitely other several KPIs which we track, but I wanted to talk about these 6 because these are the most commonly and frequently used ones in various organizations in different products, B2B or B2C. I request you to put the list of other KPIs you might be tracking in the comments if you want. But yeah, this video is about Act 2, how to map your features to the KPIs. And once you have done that, how to define the success. What exactly is success? When someone comes and asks you, hey, was that delivery a success? Did you achieve what you wanted? How do you answer that? This video will all be about it. So let's dive right in.
Hey guys, so today we are talking about the Act 2, right? From feature to KPI. How to map your features to the KPIs which we discussed yesterday, right? So the idea is to pick one primary KPI out of the 6 which I mentioned yesterday that matches the feature's intent or the purpose of that feature. And then you add one or two guardrails if needed. So the obvious question you would have is what is exactly a guardrail? Well, in common product manager parlance, a guardrail is defined as a secondary metric you watch to make sure your primary KPI isn't causing harm somewhere, right? Just as an example, if you press the accelerator on your car, at the same time you keep an eye on the engine temperature and the fuel consumption, right? I mean, the engine temperature shouldn't go up so high that the car blows up, or the fuel consumption goes so high that suddenly your mileage shoots up from say 15 to, I don't know, like 30 kilometer per hour or something, like it just doubles. So basically, while one KPI is going up, we don't have to let the other KPI break, right? So what the idea is, what is the meaning of this first sentence there? You pick one primary KPI, map it to the feature's purpose or intent, the feature which you just built. And then you can pick one or two extra guardrails or KPIs out of the previous list if needed, right? And you just put them there again if needed. So, what are the mapping rules? So, let's say your feature is onboarding or first use features. So your primary KPI could be activation or time to value. Or maybe you can just keep activation as the primary KPI and TTV as the guardrail, right? Now, probably your feature is engagement features, some features which create engagement for the user, right? Like probably you added a like button, or you probably added some feature which encourages engagement for your users on your analytics product. So, say alerts or something, or maybe you added some reminders or shortcuts. So, the primary KPI could be daily active users and monthly active users, or retention, and or one of these could be the this could serve as the primary KPI, and this could serve as the guardrail, right? Now, let's assume you added monetization and or checkout features, like you added a new payment gateway or something like that, or say you added a new tiered pricing, or you added something else like a freemium model or something, then probably your KPI could be the RPU, or revenue per user, average revenue per user, and the conversion rate, of course. Like how many people are converting from the freemium model to a paid model, or in a tiered pricing, how many users are converting, right? And probably your features are reliability or stability features. Probably you added some new changes to the architecture in the backend, which basically reduces the error rate, or the um, any of the things which stalls your product or hangs the video or something like that. Or you probably change some database connections in the backend. So your uh, primary KPI could be error rate, right? The lower, the better. So you have to define the success before launch. As I said in the last but one video, the success has to be defined before launch. If X improves by Y within Z time, we call it a success. If, say, daily active users increases by 30% within 3 months' time, we call it a success. Something simple like that. Or say if RPU increases by 20% or 30% within 2 months' time, we call it success. This is also something which has to be tied to the OKR, something which we will discuss in the next video. But like I talked about in my product roadmap playlist, you can see the video if you want. Every feature you develop has to be tied to the company's OKRs, right? So this part has to be tied to the company's OKRs. But how to call it a success? You have to define it before launch. So, some of the examples here. The template gallery on first screen, the primary, like I said, could be activation, and the guardrails could be time to value, which is down, or the error rate, which is stable or down. Reset OTP for login failure. So the primary KPI should be error rate, and the guardrail could be activation, which is up because now people don't have to reset the OTP after. Saved cart for shoppers. So the retention or the daily active or monthly users are up, and the guardrail is revenue per user is also up, right? Because yeah, people are able to save the cards. So guardrails, as I said, the metrics you watch to ensure you didn't hurt something else, like the error rate is lower than 1%. You added a new feature and that increased the error rate, say significantly, then definitely there is some issue. So the mini checklist, write the features intent in one sentence, right? I said that before. If we change X by Y, then there is a change by Z% in Z amount of time or whatever. So you have to write it in one sentence. Map it to a metric family using the rules above, right? Then pick one primary KPI and up to two guardrails. I would highly recommend you not to make it more complicated and add more, but let's just be like one or one and two. So basically a package of 1:1 or 1:2, right? You need to document the success target so that when someone asks you, was it a success? You are not just stuck by lightning, right? You should be able to say, yeah, you know what? We were able to achieve X by Y within this amount of time. And you need to add these tracking events to a tool which you probably would be using like Mixpanel or Google Analytics or Amplitude, whatever you are using. I am not going into the details of that tool. There are several videos available online which you can learn how to use these tools. But just in case you want, put it in the comments and I can teach that as well. But I am staying away from teaching tools in my channel right now. So yeah, these are the you need to add those tracking events before coding starts. And if you want an example on how to add those tracking events, I made the video about that a little bit, and you can go and check it. I will link the playlist. I highly recommend you to check all my playlist videos, right? Okay.
So, I guess with these two videos, Act 1 and Act 2, you guys are now ready to answer anyone with the KPIs you are tracking and how you will define your success metrics. You are able to map your features to your KPIs and then define the success, right? So, hope this video and the previous one helped you to understand what all of this means. I was really lost when I started. There were a lot of content available at that time, but I felt that probably it was all over the place and I wanted to do it in simple terms. Create a playbook which will help future product managers like you guys to master this simple craft. It is not very complicated. It can be if you don't know what exactly it is, but I made sure with simple examples, with real world examples to help you understand what it is. If you like this content, I request you to click the like button, hit the subscribe button, and put in the comments. Or maybe share this video with someone. If you did not like something, or if you want me to improve something, I request you to put that in the comments as well. It doesn't matter how critical you are of this content. I request you to put it over there. I read all the comments and it helps me grow. And as a product manager, that's our job, right? Thank you.